yeah, my wife had to set up my first email account.
So this is the beginning of April 2020. We've got COVID-19 and coronavirus going on. We had talked before, and a lot of the companies that we work with, because they're manufacturers, are considered essential services, and they're up and running. Oil and gas isn't doing all that great at the moment, and we should take a moment just to say, our thoughts and prayers, as Justin and I have talked about, go out for everyone who is adversely affected by it more than us. And that kind of brings me to the question of, what do you think is the future of Industry 4.0? Coming from the guy who wanted to be an electrical engineer, didn't think that he was going to need a computer in college, is currently sitting in front of at least one computer, could be up
Yeah.
to like 5 computers with the most professional podcasting setup of the two of us. What is your predictions for Industry 4 in the future? Industry 4.0 in the future?
I mean, I think really, in a nutshell, I think the future of Industry 4.0 is going to be when you have situations like you're in right now,
Mm-hmm.
when things are like shutting down, like you're talking about, like shutting down whole countries, wherever. As companies are going to be looking at, well, I can't afford to be like just shut down. So even if I can't have people doing these things, I need to still be moving along, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that you're going to see more and more opportunities for um, all the different things that involve Industry 4.0. So if you look at like automation in particular, you're going to be seeing more and more of those things, maybe like computer vision or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, going into assisting these situations in terms of like keeping things moving along, because because you do have the situation right now where people can't work right in their like they normally were. So like say manufacturing environments or whatever, where they might have people now staying at home because those situations may not, like right now, may not be very automated or whatever. But because of this situation, I think you're going to find there's going to be more of that is going to start to happen. People are going to invest in automation
Mm-hmm.
because they know, like, okay, if this happens again, or if you go into phase 2 or 3 of this, where you have a bigger situation, which I believe this is really only like phase 1,
Oh yeah.
even though I've heard people say this is like maybe phase 4 or whatever. But I think you're going to see it from that perspective, is how I see sort of like the future of like Industry 4.0, considering like what everybody's going through like right now today. So
No, completely. I agree with you. I know that you talk about Industry 4.0 a lot, and I talk about Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. And I've been telling everyone that I talk to, this right here, right now, is an inflection point. All of the Deloittes and McKinseys of the world who have been saying that there's going to be, 100 billion gazillion dollars invested in manufacturing in these initiatives over the next few years, and most of us have been wondering where they think all this money is going to come from, and like what's going to be the thing that pushes people into it. I feel like, unfortunately, this is going to be the thing that pushes people into looking at Industry 4, looking at digital transformation, looking at automation and overall technology solutions, because the old adage of we're going to continue to do what we've been doing because it works is literally no longer true. That is no longer an answer, because things that we've done in the past are no longer going to work into the future, and we're going to have to find new innovative ways to do that.
yeah, no, I think, well, even like as we have a customer that is in an industry, like I think the water industry or something, and like they have all these projects, and we have some project we need to get done. Well, you have to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have to travel to a certain part of the country. Pretty much, there is no travel going there because pretty much the whole state's like shut down. And so it's like, well, so now it's okay. Well, now, okay, well, it's time to set up remote access and things like that to do even like simple things like studies, right? Like assessments and stuff like that. You're going to see like people now are going to have started looking at like the whole working from home or working remote, all that whole idea. People have been against it for a number of years to a certain extent. Like
Yep.
you always had certain companies that sort of thought forward, saying, okay, I can have all these resources, right? All these employees who work from wherever, you know, they live, because they don't need to be at the office or whatever situation is there. But now you're seeing it more it's more amplified now. So that's probably why, you know, well, so now you see more people on Zoom and stuff like that. I'm sure now for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that that's sort of like kind of just going to be the normal moving forward. I mean, you've proved out that everyone can work from home or work remote when they have to.
Yep.
And so that's where I think a lot of people right now, at least in some of the industries I've helped, I guess, is that that's been proven. So now they're like, okay, well, I'm acceptable now for someone working remote, even after this thing's gone.
Yep.
Because it makes sense or whatever, you know, if things can continue to get done. On the flip side, you got people that were used to going into an office or into their work or whatever, and now they're being asked to work from home, and it's like culture shock. Like you basically, I mean, it's like, okay, well, how do I work from home? Like, you know, like, I mean, it is a challenge for some people. Like I am seeing it, like some of the folks that I work with for my customers and stuff, that I see how they struggle because they're used to going to work every day.
Yep.
And I don't have an issue with it because I work remote and I've done all of the above, I guess. So it's really not that big a deal, especially if you work for an integrator. It's sort of like, I guess, a mixture of all of it anyway. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I see where that is sort of where it's been proven that it can be done, but also it is a struggle for people to sort of just like anything, change their whole mindset to like, well, this might be how it is for a while anyway, you know.
No, I completely agree with that, Justin. And I think that is a good stopping point, with the promise to everyone listening to this that we are going to have to get Justin back on in the future to continue talking about this, to continue to see how, as the world changes, what Justin is seeing, what I'm seeing, what everyone else is seeing happening in manufacturing, in technology, in Industry 4.0 and digital transformation, all the above.
Definitely.
Perfect. So I'm gonna wave goodbye to, well, if you can see me from my Newfoundland picture,
Yeah,
I'm gonna wave goodbye to everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.